Hi friends, thanks for stopping by on our Try It Thursday. Today's Try It Thursday is a simple craft. We're making love bugs. They're a really fun project. You can change it any way you like, change the color of yarn, the size of googly eyes, if you want antenna or not antenna. And we're gonna start off with what we need to create the project. So to begin, a pair of scissors. You need a piece of cardboard about 2 by 4. You need a paper cup or plastic, some glue. If you prefer, you can just use regular school glue, or if you want to try for a little bit of a quicker dry time, you can also use a hot glue gun. And anything else you might want to use to decorate with. For example, googly eyes of varying sizes, or beads of varying colors and sizes. And of course, pipe cleaners for the antenna, and the star of the show, yarn. You're going to use quite a bit of yarn, so maybe about anything like a leftover scrap, or you could probably get 2 or 3 love bugs out of a skein of yarn. So to begin, we're going to move these out of the way and move this one out of the way. I kind of like the fact that it's yarn shakes a bit. And we're going to take our yarn and our 2 by 4 piece of cardboard. We're going to wrap yarn around the cardboard about 100 to 150 times. It depends on how much you want to have hair on your yarn monster. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to cut here, and then I'll show you what about 100, 150 pieces wrapped around looks like. Thing to remember too, it varies on the thickness of the yarn that you're using. So feel free to kind of adjust it as needed. So I've wrapped the yarn about 150 times. So let's do 151, 152, 53, 154, 155, 156, 157, 158, 159, and 160. And I think I've got a good size amount of yarn on this one. Now I forgot, you don't have to tie it onto this cardboard that you're using, you just have to wrap it around. No knots involved, but the knot is going to show up in just a minute because, oh, let's get this trimmed a little bit closer. We're going to take another small piece of yarn. Oh, maybe it needs to be, no, this should be fine. So we're going to wrap it underneath. So we have the long part here and the short part here, of course, as our rectangles go. And we're going to tie a string around it just to wrap it up so that it stays together. I think I may have cut too small of a string, but we do want it to be tight so that we don't have any loose ends or loose pieces of that. Perhaps I need to get another size piece of yarn, but let's try it and see what happens. So lesson learned, go for longer rather than shorter. So tie the knot. Come on. Not sure why it helps to talk to inanimate objects, but I seem to think it makes it a little bit easier to get projects done. Now, if you're doing this with children too, you may want to do this part for them, or you may choose to go another way. It's entirely up to you. So I've cut the string and we have our tied piece. It's tied nice and tight. You can see that. So we're going to flip it over, and on the back end, this is where we're going to cut. So you could tie the knot up here and then cut here. You just want to make sure that you're able to cut it in half. So my knot's right here, and I'm going to cut out the long way. It's going to probably be a little shaggy, and I think that's okay because that gives it some charm. And just keep cutting, just keep cutting. So I finally finished cutting it, and as you can see, it's a nice kind of bundle of yarn right here. And you want to kind of floof it out a little bit. The knot is on the other side. This side is what we're going to use to glue down. And you could either use regular have school glue, or if you want to use hot glue guns just because it's quicker that way. Whichever you prefer to use is entirely up to you. So we're going to grab our paper cup. Again, it could be plastic, just as long as it's kind of on the smaller side, because you want it to be a round little love bug. So what I'm going to do is take some of my glue and coat the top of it. I found it's easier just to do it that way as opposed to the glue on the yarn. It's a lot of glue I'm using. Da, 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 da. It's maybe too much glue, but we're using that a little bit later too. So I want to make sure it's spread out nice so that I could probably cover the entire top. We can move it around a bit once it's down, but let's see if we can get this to kind of spread a bit, like hair. And now, oh. And now we're going to put this on top, like so. And wait for it to dry. This might take a while, but luckily I've already made one so that we can just use that as an example of how to decorate our monster. So there you go. Our other monster, already dried. We're gonna add some decorations to it. Googly eyes being the first piece. You can have as many eyes as you want. If you just wanna have one, that's perfectly fine. If you wanna have several, that's perfectly fine too. And you can, it's nice to have a project where you can make multiple ones and have them all be unique and individual. Just a few materials. So let's get the eye on here. And let's get that other eye. These supplies can be found in any craft store or a dollar store. And then get the other eye, and I just got glue on my hands. Okay, so there is our love bug, a little bit of glue on the eye, but that's okay. And then we're gonna take our pipe cleaner and add some beads to it. So the other option that you could do is you can put multiple beads. You can also take the pipe cleaner and just do spirals. You can use your hand to do it, or a pencil, finger, pencil. Let's see, I think I have a problem with this one because I'm afraid, yep, there we go. The bead will stay. So that's it. That's how you make a love bug. If you get a chance to make the project, we would love to see them. Feel free to post your picture underneath this video. And thanks again for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.